Um, I think that we moved away from some superstition, but we fell into another kind. Like, it used to be that anything that was not acknowledged by the church was seen as heresy. Like, for instance, astronomy, not astrology, but astronomy was seen as heresy. Galileo claiming that it's not the Earth at the center, but it's the Sun at the center of the solar system was seen as heresy. Giordano Bruno theorizing that there could be other worlds where life is was seen as heresy. Uh, we moved away from those because of the Age of Enlightenment, when science became more prominent and the church was not able to just silence the very obvious evidence that science was providing to support its claims. But at the same time, uh, we fell into the trap of positivism, which is anything and everything has to be logical, rational, scientifically provable. And that led to pretty much the death of anything that is considered to be spiritual. It's you can still meet scientists who are Christian, for instance. You can you can meet religious people who also practice science, but the kind of religion that they practice is very dry. It's very much like, I've been raised a Christian and therefore I am a Christian. Anything that is about personal exploration of what it means to have a spirituality is very much frowned upon. So the terms changed, but the attitude didn't very much. Like it used to be that alchemy or hermeticism were seen as heresy. Nowadays they're seen as superstition.
Mm-hmm.
They're still frowned upon, however. I've met my share of people who scoffed whenever they found out that I read the tarot.
Mm-hmm.
And they scoff on a peer pressure basis. It's like everybody thinks it's bullshit, and therefore so do I.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, have I explored this? Have I actually checked if it works or not? Nowadays, all of these topics suffer from prejudice because people refuse to explore them.
What is the best way to react to people scoffing about such topics?
You just find yourself a better quality of people to hang around with, because there's no point in trying to convince them. Something I notice is that if someone believes it to be crap or to be superstition, you cannot change their mind. You can't. They will come up with the most outrageous explanations to justify the fact that they just witnessed something that they cannot explain. I read the tarot once to someone who, after 3 times of me reading the tarot to them and always having the same 3 cards show up in different positions in those 3 readings, and all of the other cards were different, but those 3 cards were crucial. They were very crucial from the very first reading. So it was no coincidence that they kept showing up. This person, rather than admitting that maybe there was something to it, decided that I am a stage magician who, with sleight of hand tricks, managed to make those 3 cards appear just to impress them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way more outrageous way of explaining this. You know, it takes such an incredible turn of your own mind to be like, okay, you know what? I refuse to believe that there might be something to this. I'd rather think that this person whom I've known for 15 years was always secretly a magician, like a stage magician, just to impress me now. That makes
Do you think that in general sometimes people can reject subjects such as astronomy, tarot,
astrology.
astrology, yeah, exactly, astrology, esotericism, tarot, because of the fear they may have towards knowing what's about to happen, in the common understanding of it, of course. Do you think people can reject them because they fear?
I I don't think they reject it. They reject it because they fear they fear to know what might happen, because that would imply that they are giving it a chance. Like they are contemplating the option that this might work. But to me, that's absurd. Like, if you contemplate the off chance of this working, why not explore it then? You know,
How would you recommend for people who know nothing about the topic explore it for the first time?
if they are serious about it, um, nowadays they could ask, they should ask ChatGPT. Like, this is something that I actually recommend, because the way I had to do it when I was 14 and had access to the internet, I had to sift through a lot of crap. Like, I had to talk to people who had the most outrageous ideas. I had to suffer through my share of I don't know, wannabe Satanists, wannabe witches, egomaniac ceremonial magicians, and occasionally I was getting some nice insight, or someone was dropping the name of a book that was worth reading. But it was such a waste of time. It was such a waste of effort, such a waste of time. If someone wants to approach these topics, well, the best thing to do is to read. Find yourself some nice books, read them, and then explore, because it's not just reading.
Well, a lot of people believe that
Yeah.
you have to have psychic abilities to be able to read the tarot. Is this true?
No, everybody has psychic abilities. If you need psychic abilities to read the tarot, then it means that we are all psychics, which is kind of true. Like, the problem with psychics is that the average psychic is a scammer. Like, anybody who's like, I have psychic powers, is trying to scam you out of money or to gain some kind of control over you. As I was sifting through all of that bull crap when I was starting to get into this, I remember finding a lot of people who claimed that in order to do magic, to approach magic, you should have been born as a witch or a magician, which is kind of the same as saying you need psychic powers to read the tarot. You don't. The very same notion that you need to be a psychic to do any of this makes it completely outrageously meaningless that there are any books about this, or that the tarot are being sold in the first place, because people can just pick it up and learn the meaning, the symbols of the cards, learn to visualize the cards in their own mind, and then do what is pretty much active imagination exercises based on the cards to gain a deeper understanding of them and of themselves. And you don't need to be a psychic to do this. You need, however, to not dismiss the possibility that all of this works. Because I've met many people, who read the tarot, but they've never even done an active imagination exercise to the cards, simply because they can assume that it works, but somehow, for some reason, they draw the line the moment their imagination is involved. The moment they have to trust that their imagination knows more than they know it knows, then somehow they're like, no, I don't believe this. But then, how is it possible how can you believe that some cards that you put on a table are giving you a hint of a message, but at the same time you don't believe that your own mind, prompted with those images, could do the same? Why is your mind less important or less meaningful than the cards? And yet, you don't need to be a psychic for this to happen. You just need to do it.
And you need to trust the power of your own mind.
Yes, the power of your own imagination, the power of your subconscious to be your actual higher self talking to you through yourself and showing you hints and messages.
Somehow I'm thinking about those strange genres in art, such as cubism, for example,
Yeah.
which when you look at the picture, you think, oh, what kind of like piece of art is this? This is not telling me anything. But if you actually look at it like we do look at tarot sometimes,
It suddenly
it
starts
starts
making sense.
speaking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.